Good evening. Welcome to Healing the Divide, produced by Methodology Books. We have a great episode for you this evening. We hope this episode will play a major role in helping our family members, friends and neighbors from the grasp of the fake cult leader, Donald Trump. We don't bring you news articles for the sake of news. Our responsibility is the bigger picture. Here at Healing the Divide, we've been calling for the people to see that nothing Donald Trump presents from himself is real. Every single thing that he presents is to create an image, a persona. Tonight, in keeping with the method laid out in the book MAGA, the Book of Trump, in his own words, we are going to show proof that he's a fake. Please share this with friends, family, neighbors, and your social media connections. Thank you. Here's Andrew to get us started.
Good evening and welcome. As you said, Madeline, this episode should go a long way towards helping our fellow Americans see the light. I was thinking about our upcoming book, America First. Those who say it most understand it the least. So we begin our episode with the rallying cry initiated by Trump of America First. Now the fact that he has actually shown his decision-making has never been based on putting what's best for America first never bothered his followers because they were convinced that they are America. And, they were also conned into believing their concerns would be put first. Even though his whole 4 years as president proved otherwise.
Exactly. As they say, we have the receipts.
Wyatt's been looking forward to this episode. It's myth-busting time, eh?
You know it. Madeline, let's get busy helping our fellow Americans.
Okay, Wyatt, let's start with what Trump sees when he looks in the mirror. Check it out.
Because I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich. I'll show you that in a second. And by the way, I'm not even saying that in a brag. That's the kind of mindset, that's the kind of thinking you need for this country. Millions. Everybody's offering me money, and I don't want it. So I'm turning down millions of dollars.
Here we have a man who wants to be in charge of a country. No, wait. We have to remember that even though people came out and voted for him back in 2016, he never seriously expected to win. It was all a stunt. And even though he didn't win the popular vote, he did win the Electoral College votes. So even in that he deceived the people who were willing to vote for him. So he looks in the mirror and doesn't like what he sees.
Enter the bronzer.
Because I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care.
Here we have a man who sought out the people who would most likely go for his con. As we mentioned in the book, Florida is where DeSantis' presidential dream goes to die. The Republican Party already had the pre-existing conditions for a cancer like Donald Trump to spread. As you can see now, the Republican Party is now a diseased and mutated version of its former self. Trump is a former Hillary supporter who pretended to be Republican. He's a rich man who pretends to be able to relate to the common man and woman. He's a person who doesn't even like the skin he's in, hence the bronzer fake tan, while taking charge of people who claim supremacy because of the very pigment he hates. He presents himself as a tough so-called alpha male while proving with his court cases to be a crybaby. He pretends to be brave while in truth is a coward.
He says that he believes the January 6th insurrectionists are hostages. Look at what he said before he left office. He counts on that American amnesia.
America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. We must get on with the business of America. My campaign vigorously pursued every legal avenue to contest the election results. My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote.
Wait, Andrew. I apologize for interrupting here, but another bigger picture moment just jumped out at me. This part right here.
My campaign vigorously pursued every legal avenue to contest the election results.
He acknowledged and admitted that he was operating as a candidate for office and not in his official capacity as president, even though everyone in the legal profession already knew it. I thought it would be good to highlight it here. While his followers are doing time for it, he's trying to get presidential immunity for his actions. Please, continue.
Now Congress has certified the results. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. We must revitalize the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that bind us together as one national family. To the citizens of our country, serving as your president has been the honor of my lifetime. And to all of my wonderful supporters, I know you are disappointed, but I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Trump supporters are discovering how difficult it is for this man to stop lying.
I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order.
Before we comment on this section, I just want to give you some of the ways to tell when Trump is lying. 1. He opens and closes his arms like he's playing an accordion. 2. He raises his right hand with his fingers curled while making a point. 3. He's talking. 4. He's breathing. Now back to this current lie. He said that he immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement. We know that Liz Cheney mentioned while on the January 6 committee hearings that Trump waited hours before sending help. Trump even also said he offered Pelosi troops and she declined, which is to say, so I went back to watching the event on TV. And we know that he sent a tweet to the rioters that Pence didn't have the courage to do what was needed. And aside from our own selective amnesia, we know for ourselves that we all watched in horror as this went on for hours and the media constantly emphasized the fact that Trump continued to do nothing. Even his own family was sending messages for someone to tell him to stop the madness.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. If you're with us, they put you in jail. Look at what's happened with the J6 hostages. The hostages, that's a horrible thing. I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem.
We are happy to report that more and more people are freeing themselves from Donald Trump. They remember what he said when he sent the people to the Capitol. They remember what he said and did while the people were storming the building. They remember his speech against them. They remember that his crooked friend Steve Bannon was arrested for cheating them out of money he claimed to be raising to build a wall at the Mexican border. They remember that Trump actually pardoned him for cheating them. They remember that when he was still in office, he did not pardon the people who stormed the Capitol on his behalf. They realized the people he now calls hostages would be free today if he pardoned them. They have also been paying attention to the fact that with all the millions of dollars he's raised, he never used a dime to help the people in prison for January 6th, nor anyone else. They know he's a fake and a liar.
That's all the time we have for now. Please tune in for our next episode of Healing the Divide, where we will cover more bigger picture aspects of Trump the fake. We will cover more areas in which more and more of his followers are freeing themselves from him.